Hello there. Hi. Are you doing okay after the series of earthquakes here in Camarines Sur? Today is October 15, 2021. It is 2 p.m. or 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes after 2 p.m. My wrist watch is quite advanced. Um, early last night or early this morning, this dawn, um, people here in Camarines Sur, what was going to be the first of a swarm or a series of earthquakes. The very first one occurred at dawn. First, we heard a thunderous sound under the ground, and then a thunderous or crackling sound under the ground, followed by an intensity 4.2 earthquake. So people woke up and went out of their house. Hi there, Anne-Marie's TV, Anne-Marie's channel, Pure Joy TV. And so many people could not go back to their sleep anymore because of the terrifying experience that they had. So it was different because first they heard Madam Gulay channel. Thank you. Hi there. Thanks for dropping by. They heard a la War of the Worlds. They heard huge crackling, thunderous sound under the ground, followed by the earthquake. Earthquake was tectonic in origin. Intensity 5. Yes, we're shocked too by the news. So that's according to our friend Anne-Marie channel. According to Feebox, the earthquake was tectonic in origin. Intensity 5 in Camsur, which was actually the epicenter of the earthquake. Intensity 6, mind you, in Pili, Camarines Sur. So that is why we felt the earthquake that much. According to the page, the Watchman's Earth and Space Connection, the source is the Legazpi lineament, a fault splay of the Philippine fault. So Mama called me right away. Oh my God! That's Pearl Joy TV. Thanks for dropping by. So there, according to Watchman's Earth and Space connection, the source of the earthquake was the Legazpi lineament, a fault splay of the Philippine fault. The fault lines in Bicol include the Flying Running Chef. Hi there, the Flying Running Chef. Okay, the fault lines here in Bicol, apart from the Legazpi lineament, are as follows: the San Vicente Linao fault line, which is in Albay; the San Miguel fault line, which is in which traverses Labo, Camarines Norte, through Camarines Sur, through Lagonoy Gulf; and the Hilawan fault line, Catanduanes. Amazona Judivic TV. Hi there. Okay. Minas fault line, which traverses Camarines Sur, Lagonoy Gulf, and it goes through west of Catanduanes. And the Donsol Gulf fault line, and then, as we said, the Legazpi lineament. Whereas west of Bicol, we have the Philippine Fault. So mind you, west of Bicol, we have the Philippine Fault. Because of that, Pearl Joy TV. Thanks, sir. I'm actually waiting for your streaming. Yeah. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for supporting the channel and for actually dropping by. Thank you. As we said, Philippine Fault is west of Bicol Peninsula. And because of that, we are also preparing for the so-called the big one, which is an intensity 7 or higher earthquake, according to our seismologists. Earthquakes actually happen every day, but most of the time we do not really feel the earthquakes or the impact of the earthquake. As a matter of fact, yesterday or even today, lots of earthquakes have been happening here in the Philippines, all over the Philippines. In fact, that particular earthquake this morning here in Camsur happened 10 times. 10 times. Pearl Joy TV, keep safe everyone for the aftershocks. Okay, thank you. Yes, we will do our best to be safe. Yes, as I was saying, the earthquake that was felt early this morning actually, happened 10 times. The first one happened at 1:20 a.m. According to Feebox. Intensity 4.2. No, 4.2 magnitude. Intensity 5 in Kanakman. Intensity 6 in Pili. At 1:28 a.m., the second earthquake happened, 3.2 magnitude. And then at 1:41 a.m., the third earthquake happened, magnitude 2. At 2:03 a.m., the fourth earthquake happened, magnitude 2.4. At 2:14 a.m., the fifth earthquake was felt at 2.5 magnitude. At 2:22 a.m., the sixth earthquake was felt at 3.5 magnitude. At 2:33 a.m., the seventh earthquake was felt, magnitude 2. At 2:54 a.m., the eighth earthquake was felt, magnitude 2.1. At 3:22 a.m., the ninth earthquake was felt at 2.4 magnitude. At 4:30 a.m., the 10th installment of the earthquake was felt at 2.5 magnitude. And mind you, also today also felt at 5:19 a.m. So that's it. Actually, earthquakes happen every day, and in fact, the earthquake earlier happened 10 times. There was also an earthquake in Davao that's actually a little bit stronger than the earthquake here in Camarines Sur. So apparently, Davao and Camsur are having quite a contest when it comes to intensity in earthquakes. Perhaps due to the heat of the election period, I hope not. Seismologists look for the faults and they try to determine if the fault lines are already ripe for earthquake. That is why the experts are saying that we must prepare for the big one, because the Philippine fault is actually ripe for an earthquake. So it's not a question of if there will be an earthquake, but when. So it's not if there will be an earthquake, but when. So the question now is, how do we prepare for earthquakes? So let's talk about it. Let me give my thoughts on the matter, and I hope you will also share your ideas on the matter. The first method, or the first thing that we should think of is know our risk. So you must know your risk for an earthquake. So for active volcanoes, okay, here in Bicol, as you see, earthquakes can be volcanic in source or tectonic in source. The earthquake earlier, as we said, was actually tectonic in origin. Incidentally, we have three active volcanoes here in Bicol, namely Mount Mayon, Mount Asog, Mount Bulusan. Now, Mayon is in Albay, Mount Asog is in Camarines Sur, Mount Bulusan is in Sorsogon. Let's check other active volcanoes here in the Philippines as per PHIVOX. We have actually 24. Yes, 24 active volcanoes. Let's actually name them. We have first Babuyan Claro at Babuyan Island, Banahaw, boundaries of Laguna and Quezon in Luzon, Biliran, Mount Biliran in Leyte in Visayas, Daho in Sulu in Mindanao, Bulusan, as we said, Sorsogon, Kabalian in southern Leyte in the Visayas, Kagua in Cagayan in Luzon, Kagua Camiguin de Babuyanes in Babuyan Island, the Babuyan Island Group, Cagayan in Luzon, Didicas, Babuyan Island Group, Cagayan in Luzon, Mount Hibok-Hibok, Camiguin in Mindanao, Mount Iraya, Batan Island, Batanes in Luzon, Mount Asog or Mount Iriga, Camarines Sur in Luzon, Mount Isarog, Camarines Sur in Luzon. I failed to mention Mount Isarog earlier. Mount Canlaon, Negros Oriental and Negros Occidental in the Visayas, Leonard Niasef, Davao del Norte, Mount Makaturing, Lanao del Sur, Mount Matutum, Cotabato in Mindanao, Mount Mayon, of course, in Albay here in Bicol region, Mount Musuan, Calayo, in Bukidnon in Mindanao, Mount Parker, Cotabato, General Santos North, Cotabato, Sarangani provinces in Mindanao, Mount Pinatubo, of course, boundaries of Pampanga, Tarlac, Zambales in Luzon, Mount Ragang, Lanao del Sur and Cotabato in Mindanao, Mount Smith, Babuyan Island Group, Cagayan in Luzon, of course Mount Taal or Taal Volcano in Batangas in Luzon. But Taal is also being, eruptions of Taal is also felt in Cavite. So those are the active volcanoes here in the Philippines. In Bicol, actually, we have 4 active volcanoes: Mount Mayon, Mount Asog, Mount Bulusan, and Mount Isarog. My favorite mountain, Mount Isarog. All right, so we have to know our risk. Are we near an active volcano? When Mount Taal or Mount Taal volcano erupted early 2020, our friend Jose Rizal Adventures, a fellow prepper based in the US, said to the people of Taal, alam nyo na nakatira kayo malapit sa bulkan. Anytime pwedeng pumutok yan. Nagulat pa kayo. So that's what he said. He told the inhabitants of Taal volcano, guys, you already are aware that you are living within the vicinity of an active volcano. And then when it erupts, you're actually surprised. So think like a prepper, always anticipate. Okay, another way to prepare for earthquakes, I think, is to practice duck, cover, and hold. So many people during the earthquake here in Bicol earlier today, instead of performing duck, cover, and hold, they were holding their smartphones and posting on Facebook. So I think we have to practice duck, cover, and hold. Duck, cover, hold onto something. Yes, okay. Another way is to have an EDC pouch and a day pack. I already featured here my very own EDC pouch. I can show you my EDC pouch. So it's always with me. It's always in my body, attached to my body. And of course, I also have a day pack. It's just a small backpack that you can actually bring with you easily. It must have things there that will help you address the situation. Well, flashlight. You must have flashlight, basically. Look for the video here on my channel where I actually discussed the contents of my EDC pouch in my day pack. You may also want to check the videos of Jose Rizal Adventures, Pinoy Prepper, Pinoy Survivalist, and check the contents of their day packs and EDC pouches. So there, try to have an EDC pouch or day pack. Vanessa Vargas Vlogs, thank you. Another way is to properly place, okay, heavy, breakable, and inflammable things in your house. You know, for example, heavy stuff should not be, you know, above your head, or if they're there, they should at least be fastened or in a container that is stable. Breakables as well should also be in such situation. Inflammables should be placed under the sink, for example, and should not be allowed to be, you know, placed in a on higher ground, so it won't fall and start a fire. Usually, during earthquakes, one would create massive fire in the areas affected. Okay, another way is to cover, you know, to practice covering under tables, posts, or better if you can, you know, go out of the house or the building and go to open spaces. And of course, you must avoid the elevator when you are in a building and you wanna go out of the building. Try to avoid using the elevator. Okay, and another way is to watch for signs, especially for volcanic eruptions. You know, sometimes volcanic eruptions cannot be predicted, especially yung steam eruptions. However, most of the time you can actually predict volcanic eruptions. Let's look at some tips from some of our scientists. How to, you know, predict, you know, how can we tell when a volcano will erupt? This according to usgsgovernment.com, usgs.gov. Okay, a volcano will erupt if there's an increase in the frequency and intensity of felt earthquakes. So if you're in the mountains, you keep on feeling earthquakes, and it keeps on happening and intensifying, then there's a possibility that there will be an earthquake or a volcanic eruption, mind you. Okay, noticeable steaming and new or enlarged areas of hot ground. So there, magma, steam coming out of the mountain. Okay, another thing is subtle swelling of the ground surface. Subtle swelling of the ground surface. Small changes in heat flow. Okay, small changes in heat flow. The main for us Filipinos, if you're feeling, you know, that the mountain is unusually hot, okay, hot wind, etc. Changes in the composition of relative abundances of fumarolic gases. So steam, you know, lots of steam, sulfuric steam. So that's what we should watch out. People also say that for tectonic earthquakes, animals would feel, you know, would act strange and feel uneasy, especially dogs. They would keep on barking and barking, etc., etc. That's for the signs. So we must watch for signs. So if you are in the mountains, then what? Then you must leave the mountain, of course. Leave the mountain immediately, evacuate. But if you are in the city, of course, maybe you are better situated in the city during a volcanic eruption with earthquakes, mind you. As for tectonic earthquakes, you might need to have supplies, supplies, medicines, food, water, and of course have a vehicle, bug out vehicle, maybe if you can use them, or have a bug out location, or a farm or a relative's house out of the city, because looting could happen in the cities. Looting, hunger, lack of medicines, lack of government presence could happen in the cities. As you know, the government will show up, but it will be a bit delayed, as usual. Okay, and we mentioned bug out vehicles, etc. But then it might not be feasible because of the cracks on the ground, right? Caused by the earthquake, the cracks on the ground, so much that you can no longer use your vehicle properly, or even your motorcycle. So therefore, have good cardio, hike regularly. Hike regularly, I mean, have good cardio by hiking or jogging regularly. I like to hike, and that's the reason why I hike, because there will be times that you won't be able to use your vehicle or your motorcycle or your bicycle even. So at the end of the day, it depends upon us. Okay, don't just rely on the government or other people. So that's our session for today, our tambay session for today here at Hagbayon channel. Jason here, I am your host. I'm a writer, I'm a college professor, rock musician, guitarist, blade builder, martial arts enthusiast and practitioner. I'm also into prepping and survivalism as a hobby, and I also practice it. So this channel is devoted on those topics that I mentioned. Okay, remember, the pen is mightier with the sword. Thanks for watching.